What is up, guys? It's Mitchell or Deity, and here we are back with part 4 of the guide. Part 3 I know was a little sloppy. Some things happened in real life. Someone tried to rob me. I saw a gun. Not a good experience. Almost hit him with my car. But now we're back. My brain is here. We're good to go. So part 4, this will be much smoother. We have a lot of stuff to do today. If you have not downloaded Raid before, I have a QR code up at the top, a downloading description. If you're following along with this guide, you already have. But when you download through my link, there's 4 epic champions you get. Right away, you're getting Tagoar, good reviver. At level 25, you're getting Ugo, another fantastic debuff revive, or he also revives. Next up, at level 45, you're getting Ultimate Gallic. Super good HP burning character. Now, at level 50, you're going to be getting Lady Quillen. Okay, those 4 characters, level 50, trust me, if you're following the guide, we'll get there. Those 2 characters synergize. Lastly, you are going to be entering the promo code Monkey King. If Monkey King is not available, you will have a different promo code down in the description that you could enter. But for right now, Monkey King, legendary character, you'll get right out of the gate. Sun Wukong, very, very good character. You will not be sad that you got him. Now, getting into the guide. If you've gone through part 4 and progressed a little bit, you've probably hit level 30. Level 30 is going to teach you about relics. This is actually a new thing added to Raid. So with relics, you're going to have these different relics that it gives you one for free right away. And you'll learn more about this. Won't cover it too much, but these just give additional stats, and it makes it to where the beginning of the game is much easier. Okay, they keep giving like extra stat sticks throughout the life of Raid that just makes all different content easier because your starter just is stronger. So these are really good things. We will worry about talking about and going deeper into that eventually, but for right now, we're just gonna go ahead, do whatever the thingy tells you to do, and click socket and then hit X, and now your Kael just got an additional X amount of attack. So it's an extra 104 attack. Sorry, had to wait to get that up to where it was showing. So in terms of our total progress, we are going to be looking at, we are at the mission. I told you guys to potentially get up to the point where you need to unlock masteries for your champions. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take a pause. If you guys got there, fantastic. If you haven't got there, it's all good. But before we get into these next batch of missions of getting all the potions and everything, actually, I told you to get to affinity bonus. If you've already gotten that far, fantastic. If you have not and are just immediately off the last episode of the guide, that's even better. But from here, what we're going to do is go and strengthen our account. So we're on day 4 login. Day 4 login, we logged in, we got our just skill book here. Nothing special about day 4 login, besides the fact we also at level 30. So let's go ahead and grab this. But besides the fact that we now have 1, the forge open, and 2, our passes for the apprentice challenge are here again. So with the apprentice challenge, we need 1 more level, right? That 1 more level is going to give us an additional chance at lifesteal gear. We want to achieve that. We are at 0 out of 20, and we can only get 10 more here, but we can upgrade all of Kael's artifacts to plus 16. All right, you should have your login daily gold from your shop. So if you come to shop, you're going to be able to go to your silver pack, log in, get your 4th day, and then we're going to get our 5th day here soon. And then from packs, you are going to get a mystery shard for free every day. I don't know if I've covered this, but you're going to be getting an ancient shard once every 7 days. So once you claim it, it goes on a timer. So you get 1 ancient shard just every 7 days for playing. So if you don't play for 6 days and log in, you'll have an ancient shard sitting there waiting for you. So that's one of the nice things with Raid. I always say it's a login game. If you don't play everything for that day, it's fine. Just get used to logging in when you can. And the more you log in, the more progression you make. So it's a win-win. Now that we are done with that, I have to remember what we were doing. But our goal is to upgrade our Kael's gear because we want to finish this next mission. So our Kael, currently mine has almost everything fully upgraded. So we need to go in and boost each piece of 16 and pray it doesn't take a ton of silver away. That took 600,000. That wasn't terrible, and we got crit rate. So this gear is going to end up going on another character, and it'll be for our faction war team most likely. Or we'll take this gear and put it over on our Sun Wukong, or whichever legendary you guys currently have that you started the game with. So, crit chance. Hey, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so we got both crit rate and crit chance. Crit chance, always great for your damage dealers. So that's going to go on Sun Wukong most likely, but Kael's artifacts are all plus 16. Now with that, we're going to be able to claim this pass, and we just need to go and finish up the rest of the daily challenges, which are win campaign battles 5 times. And we're going to do that as the first step of what we're doing. But before we get into that, I want to show off a couple more things. Once you hit level 30, you're going to be able to utilize the forge. We talked about faction wars in previous episode of the guide, to where you go in, you have certain factions, you clear stages, you get materials. With faction wars, mainly we are going to want to craft perception and resilience sets. Okay, these are our go-to early game sets. Now, at the beginning, it's going to give you a little bit of bonus material, okay? Where you're going to have this extra bonus material down here, so you can do a couple of the bigger crafts. With these bigger crafts, I want you guys to go ahead and do them, okay? So once you hit level 30, if you're not there yet, just maybe we're going to go through campaign, so you can go do some campaign to get there. But you guys should be about level 30 from here. Now, we're going to put our 2 rank charms in. This just increases the chance of getting a higher rank piece of gear and higher rarity piece of gear. So chances of getting a 5 or 6 star, you have a double chance of getting a 6 star with this. And then with rarity charms, higher chance of higher rarities, you can get legendary gear out of it. Okay, so it just makes it to where you have a higher chance of getting that. You want to do that, and we're going to do 3 crafts. I'm not going to use any of the other ones currently, but 3 crafts and see if we get anything decent. Now, if you are curious on if you got anything decent or not, that's okay. As accuracy, and it's 6 star. That's fantastic. One of our first 6 star pieces of gear. 6 star gear is insanely good, so I will take this all day. Now, if you're curious on whether your piece of gear is good or not, just hold on to it, okay? That is, just hold it, and then you will learn as we keep going. There's another one. Oh my gosh, it's only 5 star, but this is super good. Again, we talked about crit rate gauntlets. Crit rate gauntlets are amazing. So crit rate gauntlets with crit damage, flat attack isn't the greatest, but it's better than resistance. So overall, that's a really good piece of gear, especially early game. The best piece you can get here would be a speed boot. If a speed main stat boot popped up, you'd be super excited. And then there's a weapon, it has accuracy, no speed on it, but it's a 6 star. I could pair it with that helmet. I'll be able to make use of it as an early game player. Now, you can craft some 5 star gear. We won't go too far into that, but I just wanted to show you guys what the crafting is. We will touch on this later when we're fully regearing our characters, but for right now, our ultimate goal is getting that lifesteal gear unlocked for Kael. So what I want you to do is go in, and today we're going to kind of forego and not pay attention to those missions as much as just clearing out content or clearing out campaign. So I want you to go in, you have your Tagoar, you have your Kael. I want you to clear as far as you can into campaign. Whether it's all the way to the final boss or not, that is what I'm going to work on. So I'm going to go up to probably stage 10 or 11, and I'll meet you back here. If you're not level 30, that'll get you level 30, as well as it will finish up your missions for the Apprentice Pass for the day. So I'll meet you back here in just a minute. Okay, so we have cleared all the way through to chapter 10. It's been super easy so far. My Kael has been obliterating everything, but go ahead and claim all your free stuff. We're almost up to another 1,000 gems. There's actually 200 more gems we could go earn really quickly, but we are almost done with hard mode campaign. Now, with what we have just accomplished, being on day 4, we are now able to go in and claim this, but also go to our passes, and we can claim these. Okay, so here's the second lifesteal set. Now we pray. Okay, we pray something good comes out of here. If it doesn't, I'll show you guys what to do. It's all good, but let's see how the new gear is looking. It is lower rarity than the last batch, but it's still 5 star. So, or no, it's the same rarity. Okay, so now what we're looking for: crit chance gloves, attack percent chest, speed main boot. Any of those 3 were jumping for joy. HP percent, both were HP percent. Last time we got defense, this time we got accuracy. This actually, it's not great. And now we had defense for the last time, we prayed for speed. We didn't get any, okay? It is what it is. So now with this, we're gonna have, check this sword. This sword's really bad. The sword's a little, or the helmet's a little bit better than the last helmet. The accuracy is nice. And then the last, that's not bad. And that's also not bad. So overall, not the greatest. This is what we want. We just don't want it on 2-star boots. We want speed main stat boots, okay? Of at least 3-star rarity or higher. Even going 3-star rarity feels really bad. But now that that is done, you can go out of here and you can farm for it, okay? It's not ideal. It's not the greatest, but you can try to get it. So with campaign, I want you guys to continue pushing through campaign. And with our current build of everything, we do want to try to put our Kael on Lifesteal. You have 2 options. You can try to start farming for the boots here, okay? No matter what farming you're doing, you're going to be getting decent progress. So if you come in, throw 3 1-stars in, and then farm, you will be farming for fodder at least. The problem is with this stage is a lot of the enemies are red. So you see there's 2 reds there. There's 1 red on the first one. You have elemental disadvantage. So our Kael is doing fine. It's not going too bad. And then we have S3 again. So see, it's not too bad to farm. And then you hope that you get a boot that drops with speed main stat of 3-star or 4-star. That would be ideal. And then you could just go work with that. If you already have one of those pieces, you're fine. Okay, so the idea if you already have one of the pieces though, is go and put your Kael on 3 pieces of the lifesteal gear of the top pieces, whichever one seems the best. Kael is a character that wants attack, accuracy, crit chance, crit damage. If you can't achieve that, even if you have to use something like this, it's fine. It's just about the base stats of the gear that matter the most right now. So just take what you can of the sword, helmet, and chest. Then if you have crit chance gloves, attack percent chest, or speed boots, put those on, and then reevaluate whichever other pieces you need. So if you do have a chest with attack percent, you're going to want speed main stat boots. Okay, so go and try to find a pair of boots, even if it's broken set, of speed main stat of the highest rarity. One thing you can do is filter, go to boots, and then go to primary stats, and then go to speed. And then you could check all your speed boots. So here's a 4-star speed boot. We could utilize that. Here's a speed boot with crit rate and attack. We could use that. That'd be even better. So you can break the setup and do one piece of that. And then next, we want to go crit chance gloves on Kael. Okay. So if we want to go crit chance gloves, the thing with his skills, the skill 2 attacks the enemy 15% of chance of inflict, or extra 15%. So he only needs 85 crit. Eventually you would build him on probably crit damage. Everything will be on crit damage eventually, but crit chance arms are the best. So again, you just go to filter, click on the arms, go to primary stats, and go to crit rate percent. And hopefully you have something. If you do not, then you may need to go farm for something along those lines as well, or just use an attack percent piece for now would be fine. But like this piece right here would be perfect. So I would use this piece. Say I had attack percent chest, I would use this piece as well as the boots, and it just varies. So if you got a crit chance arm, then you could put crit chance arm on Kael, and then you could go find an attack percent chest of any set and a speed main stat boot of any set, and you're going to be good to go. Hopefully that's not too confusing. Within a little bit, you'll be able to see what mine looks like once I finish him. But for right now, my Kael is still beating everything. I'm not worried about him dying or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and continue pushing campaign. I want you guys to try to fully clear this chapter of campaign. The final boss, you may need to bring a 3rd character to it, is the thing. But if you beat this boss, you get your first sacred shard. Okay, but normally what happens with this point of the game is you will beat through the story and you go to the next difficulty of the story without 3-starring that final stage, and then you come back once your Kael is 6-star or better geared, and you just one-shot the boss. That is normally what happens. So don't feel pressure to 3-star every stage right here, because you can always come back and do it. So I will meet you guys once you're at the end of hard mode campaign, final chapter, final boss. All right, be back in a sec. Okay, so here's an example of a stage I lost a character on, so I didn't 3-star. If you are struggling on any of these stages, just bring a 3rd character. Okay, our goal right now is not to fully clear them, but if you do, you just don't have to come back and do them again. But just put a 3rd character on, put your Ugo on, or put Wukong on, and you'll be fine. Okay, our goal, again, not to 3-star every stage. It's just to clear this out and get to the next level of campaign. Right here, there's 25 extra brews we just got, and now I'm to the final chapter. But again, if I run into any spot where the stage is hard or I fail it, I'll just throw another character on for now, and everything will be fine. So just want you guys to know, just in case you're failing and struggling, I don't want you guys to feel like you're struggling alone. Don't worry, I'm dying too. But I'll meet you guys back here once you're done with this chapter. Okay, so now that you have gone through and fully completed, I actually beat the boss. Okay, so with my current everything, I beat the boss, but if you, and 3-starred it also, I do have my first sacred shard. Those of you guys that do not have that yet, it's okay. All right, just we'll continue. You'll come back and you'll beat it. Don't stress about doing it right now. I know you want to summon. I'll save my shard. I won't summon, just in case you guys are having any problems there. If you're not, though, that's fantastic. So now we are to Brutal Campaign. Brutal Campaign gives pretty solid rewards going through. You do end up getting like 100 potions or 50 potions along the way, as on top of a bunch of gold, a bunch of gems as well. So with that, the next thing, again, I want you always to be focusing clan boss and do your clan boss attacks every day, just like I described in last video. Then from there, we are going to come down to our challenges. So you guys are probably starting to get a little bit low on stamina, but this is the time we will start working on our first 6-star character. Okay, that is our ultimate goal. We do need to get our Kael on Lifesteal set. Ideally, that is where the ultimate farming will come in. We can farm higher stages. Plus, it just makes all content easier just because our Kael will always stay alive. But now that we're to Brutal Campaign, we want to do these missions here while farming for fodder. Okay, fodder is the extra characters that you just level up and feed into others to promote them. So with this, we need to win a 4-star higher gauntlet with HP percent 4-star higher and 4-star higher boots. Okay, there are multiple pieces you could get here. They're actually pretty good. This is going to be some of the stabilizing gear for your account. What I want you to do is go in, get to stage 4, bring your 2 general characters to get the 2-star clear for each stage. Once you get back to chapter 1 of any, after each chapter, it's easy. So as you see, I'm still able to one-shot everything. It's actually weaker than the end of the last chapter. So just go through with these 2 characters to get your extra material or extra stars on everything. And once we get to stage 4, honestly, just beat this chapter. All right, that's what I'll say. Just beat this chapter and then meet me back here once you're done with this chapter, and we'll go through what all to do. Okay, so once you have cleared out all of the first part of campaign, one, you're going to get a little extra silver, which you're going to need. Trust me, you're going to be praying you have more silver soon. I'll teach you guys how to farm it. Don't worry, but there will be points where you wish you had more. But from here, we're going to go ahead and go out. I want to show you all the places, again, where you can get stamina. Okay, one of the main ways to get stamina is your gems. Early gems, we try to avoid using too much on stamina right away because we will buy masteries for first character. Sometimes we buy for 2. I don't think we will for this guide, but we need to unlock the gem mine. This will allow us to get gems every day. This is a 1,500 gem cost. All right, it costs 500 per level up to 3 levels. It takes 3 months to get your initial investment back, but then any time past 3 months, you are just at profit, and it's amazing. The sooner you do it, the happier. A year from now, even my account 6 months in, I'm super happy I have it. It ends up being a lot of gems. Next up, Guardian Ring is where we're going to be spending another 1,200 gems, 300 I believe for each slot to unlock it. We do not upgrade these. We just unlock each slot to level 1. This will just continue to give you passive upgrading on characters. This is how you can get 6 stars for not spending any stamina. You just will passively finish 6 stars and boost up your characters through that. Very important to get. Now, for your early game stamina, right here, Call of the Arbiter. You're going to keep leveling up as you finish missions and campaign location missions, whatever. Doing stages, you're going to level up. Okay? As you're leveling up, you'll get some stamina return. And then from here, you're going to be getting your stamina from sharing these trailers. Okay? Share all these trailers as you need stamina. That's another 800 or 700 in here. I can get something like that. A lot of stamina sitting in there. Next up, I have my quest. If you have not claimed your quest, you are going to get stamina from this, okay? So I can claim this 5, but I want to try to level up. Always try to level up as much as you can before claiming your potions. And then your weeklies, I have 2 more potions here. So if I level up a little bit more, it's not a ton extra. Like say I level up, I'll get 97 instead of 95. It's an extra 2. But if I level up a couple times before grabbing this, it could end up being an extra couple stages I could run. Your stamina does regenerate very quickly in Raid, okay, compared to other games. But also your daily or just for playing, once you play for an hour, you'll get another stamina pot. Now, there's a bunch of other extra stamina that you can get. There's some in Doom Tower, there's some in Cursed City, but we will unlock these as we continue progressing. But that is where some extra stamina lies as well. And then for Clan Boss, you will be getting gems per day from Clan Boss as we progress our account. That can translate into more stamina. So overall, you do get a lot for free in Raid. It's just about getting your account to the point that it's there. Okay, so now the next thing I want you guys to work on. Again, we're kind of foregoing these missions for now. We want to get our account stronger as much as we can because it'll make all these other missions cost less stamina because we can farm a higher level of whatever we're doing. But we need to come in, claim this, and then we want to win a 4-star higher of HP percent for any of those, what I was saying earlier. And then we have to equip in a support type champion 4-star higher gauntlet boots and chestplate with HP percent. We're going to equip our Ugo. Okay, the idea with Ugo, let me go over him. So those of you that are playing along with my guide, Ugo has his skill kit of his passive is place a 30% increased speed buff and block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever this champion is the last ally, or this champion's last living ally is killed. Okay, meaning you want your Ugo to be the tankiest character on your team. You want him to die last, meaning that he is going to be on slower gear than the rest of your characters. So for right now, what we farm of this next stage will be our Ugo's bottom 3 pieces of gear. And then I will just take this gear and move it to another character. All right, so I don't know who yet, but it'll just go on a faction war character for now. A lot of your faction war characters will just be placeholder 3 stars that you'll level up a little bit and they'll allow you to farm some for crafting. All right. So that is our goal, is to get Ugo's pieces down here fully traded out. Now, once we do that, it'll finish up this batch of missions, and we'll be able to claim it's a lot of extra stamina you get here. So if you see, it is going to be an extra 80 per tier of each of us, so that's an extra 240. That's just going to help level up your account, and you can continually farm fodder. And then this is just going to get an extra 100, actually. So that is our overall goal. I want you guys to go out and do that. But again, the whole time you are doing it, from yesterday, go into your campaign location, set your 3 3-stars along the way. So you just bring Kael and 3 3-stars. If your Kael is not performing to solo this, you're going to have to go put the Lifesteal 5-star gear on him and go farm for speed boots, okay? What I talked about earlier in the guide. If your Kael is somehow failing this with maxed out gear, then you're going to have to go do that, but you shouldn't be. I'm on very low tier gear and it's working, so everyone should be fine at this point. I'd be surprised if anyone's struggling, but you could have got super unlucky. Who knows? But just make sure you have 3 characters in here farming for levels at all time, and just farm whichever stage it is. First gauntlets, then chest, then the other thing. It needs to be a 4 or 5-star HP percent. Now, with this, if you run out of your farming characters materials to boost up, you can come in here and go to your mystery shards, okay, and then just summon 10, boost up, promote the ones that you've already worked on. If they're already leveled up, go promote them first, and then use the extras, level them up, and just repeat that cycle. Okay, that's all you have to do. Now, I am going to do some summons before I go and start my farm. Like I said, with the guide, I won't use any of the characters, but it's a way to kind of mix up the monotony of just being a guide and try to have some fun along the way for both me and you. And also, as you guys are curious about the beginning, about almost getting robbed, I was at the casino. Don't go to the casino. There's actually a casino in a nice area. It's a purple. I could use him later. So, he has taunt, he has some stuff, okay? It's not bad. He's not insane, but if you check his ratings, he's pretty high rated. He's a very, very good character. So, do it into Runic. Definitely happy I pulled him. Ideally, right now, one thing I want to talk about with the summons is there are different summon events. There's progressive chance where if you summon a legendary, the next legendary you get, you have a higher chance of getting them. But right now, there's a double event. So there's a chance if I summon a legendary champion, we get an extra legendary. It'll just give you another random legendary character, which is super exciting. But that is basically the same as a 2x event. So there is double raid up event. So like right now, if you're ever curious the rates of raid, you have these rates right here. And whenever there's a 2x rate up, it's going to give you 2 times the chance to get it. So it's technically the same overall as to over a period of summons, how many legendaries you'll get. But always try to, if you can, summon on either a rate up event that is good or summon during a time of a fusion event or something where you're getting additional rewards. So what I'm doing right here is not ideal, but it's a gacha game. You guys probably want to summon. I want to summon. It's fun. Getting characters is cool. Potentially use them for Faction Wars and a Sylvan Watcher, I believe that was. Let's just see if we can get a legendary. Alright, that's fine. Even doing these summons, we could get some of the 3 stars needed. Oh, Frozen Banshee. She's actually super good to get early game. So she puts poison sensitivity on pairs with your Kael, fills turn meter of allies with 2% debuff on each target, so you get turn meter boost, and has a 2 attack that 80% chance of placing a poison or if the target's under poison sensitivity. Okay, so you can place 2 poisons technically off this. She's really, really good, especially paired with Kael. So this is a fantastic character you can get. One of the early, probably better summons you can get. Especially, you can even get that from the green shards. So that's 2 actually really good characters. Cataphract, don't care about him. And last summon, show me gold. Another purple? I don't think I have him on my main account. I don't know what he does. Not super high rated. He's a taunt character, provoke character. Plays a shield, max HP, plays provoke debuff for 1 turn. It's a single target provoke, text on enemy will ignore will also ignore unkillable. Not the greatest. This passive will receive 25% less damage from enemies when this champion's HP drops to 50%. He's not great. The other legendary or epic I got, pretty solid. So that's good. 2 epics right there. I wish I would have got those epics during Geomancer. That would have been way better. Okay, so now let's go in and start farming. I want you guys to do what I said, if you can still remember at this point. Sorry, I just like summoning. All right. And go in. I'm going to be putting in my characters to farm up. Again, if you struggle with this, I will go put all those extra characters I just pulled in my waiting room, my champion vault. But for right now, I'll farm. I have plenty of space, but I will clean up and organize everything. So let's go through this. As you see, my Kael is able to do it. If your Kael isn't, try to manipulate gear a little bit in terms of what I went through earlier in the guide. As your characters die, the Kael masteries we bought makes it to where he gets stronger throughout it. So he deals more and more damage, and with our campaign farming, every time he kills a character, he gets a shield. So you shouldn't have any issues, but again, you're looking for HP percent. This crit rate gauntlet, I'm going to keep it. Just pretty much save any of the gear you get from this. We'll go through it all later. You have a lot of gear inventory space, so I'll show you guys a quick cleanup route you can do. But for right now, probably just save everything, because I could probably use this on just a random character. But that's all I got. I'll meet you back here once you finish those 3 missions. Okay, so I wanted you guys to go in and get all of the different HP percent pieces, right? So hopefully you guys accomplish that. Once you finish it, you're going to be getting some stamina back for it. So we can go ahead and grab the stamina back, because I am going to spend it today. Now, we need to equip a support type champion with 4-star or higher. Everything we just got, all those HP percent pieces that we just got, I said to go and put them on Ugo. So Ugo, we want to be as bulky as possible as we keep going. Obviously, our Tagoar is hard to compete with, but our Ugo is going to eventually, hopefully, be our tankiest character to keep himself alive. His debuffs are nice on him having turn rotation, but for the beginning of the game, we are going to build him a bit slower because we need to get that bulk on him. Okay, so that is the overall goal. We need to go put that on. Once you put that on, you're going to be able to finish this last mission, a bunch more energy that you're going to get, and then we can finish up this batch of missions. The next batch of missions is going to be for basically the same thing. We're going to be going and trying to win 4 stars, and this is something you can do later. You know, we're not going to do it right now, but this is the same exact idea to try to get more. You get more stamina back for it, and you're able to farm more for your first 6-star. Okay, so during our 6-star progress, we leveled up multiple characters up to level 30, got them ready to take to 4-star. We got some characters to level 10, level 20. I boosted them up already, but overall we made a little bit of progress. This is a very long grind. As we get further, it becomes easier because the higher stages, once our Kael is on proper gear, we'll be able to farm those higher stages and get more experience per energy that we put in. So with that said, right now, what I want to do, again, I talked about building our Kael earlier. We want to put 4 or 3 of the lifesteal pieces up top. So the sword, helmet, and shield. And then we got to find a piece for the bottom if you didn't get lucky and get one of the crit chance, attack percent, or speed main stat boots. So, or well, crit chance arms, attack percent chest, speed main stat boots. So from here, what I want you to do, you have 2 options. You can go back and do hard and try to farm for it here. The problem with that is it can drop 2 stars. So you're always going to throw away 2 stars. You could utilize a 3-star if you got one, but I think this will be more worth it. It will be a stamina sink, but this is just something we have to pay the price for because we got unlucky. Any of you that are in the same boat that didn't get one, also grab all your stuff here. And you see, we're getting to a pretty good amount of gems. We did get some more summons. We are going to go rip those. But what I want you to do is go through campaign. Okay, I already did it before I started recording this, but go through campaign with 2 characters at first. As you see, I started dying once we got to chapter 6. Okay, and now with chapter 7, when you start dying, if you need to, I did completely fail this stage. Just bring a 3rd character, and you can bring fodder. Okay, so the goal is always be leveling something up along the way. So I'm just gonna bring a 1-star character into this. Okay, so just go through, be all the way up to the next chapter, which is where the lifesteal gear is. With that lifesteal gear, I need you to farm for one of the pieces that you are missing. So for me, I know I have a good speed main stat boot, and I know I have a good crit chance arm. They are different sets, but it doesn't matter if we split up the sets. So I know for my account, I need to farm for a attack percent chest, preferably 4-star or 5-star, whichever one drops first. That will allow me to finish up my Kael. It will not be the greatest. It's going to be a common piece of gear. The stats could roll literally anywhere, but we need to do it. So I believe I farmed the wrong stage here. I did. So as you see there, I did the wrong stage. I did 6 instead of 7. But beat this all the way up to the next chapter. It's just wasted your time. You're welcome. 2 Vladimir straight. And I know I need to farm for a chest. So that is what I'm going to do. Once I get that chest, I'm going to go out. I'm going to build up my Kael, and I'm going to move my Kael's gear over to my Wukong. Your Kael's gear can go onto any other attack character if you do not have Wukong because you started at a time where there's a different promo code. But that is what I am going to do now. If you already have the gear for your Kael, you can go ahead and upgrade it. Hopefully you'll have enough silver. You probably won't, to be honest, to get it all to plus 16. But go ahead and upgrade it. The most important things are the sword, the arms, the chest, and the boots, and then the helmet and the shield just take to +12 for now, and those will be luxury for when you can finish upgrading them off silver. But if you want to wait for me, I will be there in just a second, but let me go ahead and farm for this, and then I'll come back and we'll do the building. Okay, so I have finally gotten an attack percent chestplate. As you see, the way I was farming was with Tagoar and Kael, because just Kael would fail. So I had to do a little bit more inefficient farming, but it ended up working out fine. Okay, so with that, now I ended up finishing this challenge as well. And the thing is, these missions can be from anywhere in the campaign. It doesn't have to be from stage 2. So we are going to get a little bit of stamina return there. I don't know if I'll claim it yet today. I haven't decided how far along I'm going to push for this portion of the guide yet. But since we got that attack percent, now it is time to put Kael on Lifesteal. And this is potentially the worst Lifesteal Kael I've ever built, which is pretty funny. So we're looking for res accuracy is nice, and also crit damage. So here are the stats. You're going to have 2 options for each one. For Kael, you want attack percent, crit damage, crit chance, accuracy, and speed. Okay, those 5 stats are all fantastic. So with this one, I only have 1 stat that's good. This one, I only have 1 stat that's good. So I am going to go for the accuracy for this. All right. No, I'm going to go for the crit damage. I don't know. Okay, let's go for the crit damage. Accuracy would be just as good, if not better. But we're just going to commit to one. I'm going to do the one that's technically a little bit worse, so that later on I can struggle the same as you. Accuracy is your ability to land the poisons on Kael. So this one will just go more into the damage side. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the gear here. And then next up, I'm going to go to the helmet. This has attack and accuracy, so I will use this one. This one's just straightforward. Next up, we have our shield. So our 2 shield options are HP and crit rate, or crit rate and crit damage, but lower rolled. I'm going to go ahead and go into the crit rate, crit damage. Okay, these are 2 stats that are both good. Go ahead and switch that. And now for the chest we go. And since I got no good chest, I'm going to do my attack percent chest. Again, you guys, it's 4-star. I didn't get a 5-star one, but that's perfectly fine. All right, now for the boots and the arms, we can go over to filter, we can go to the boots, and we want to primary stat, sort by speed, and then go through whichever one is the best. This one actually isn't too bad, and it's already upgraded some. So it has attack, HP, crit rate. Those are 3 good stats. There's also the speed set one that has a crit rate and attack, but it's not leveled yet. So any speed main stat boot with whatever the stats I listed earlier, any combination of those are good. And then just pick that one. I'm going to go ahead and equip this boot. And then now for the arms, we want to do the same filter, and we want to look at what kind of crit chance arms we have. So we don't have to finish a set. I don't have to grab a crit chance set for that, but we just need to go down, and we need to go to primary stats and go to crit rate. So I do have a crit rate one, but it's only 3-star. It would give me additional 12 crit rate for finishing the set, but since I know I crafted this one earlier, this one's just super lucky, I can grab this. Again, if you need to get any specific pieces to feel like your build's fine, you can just go to campaign, brutal. Maybe you have to bring 2 characters, but you can farm for the things that you want. So now I'm going to go ahead and equip this piece, and now we have a fully new Kael. All right, the Lifesteal is going to be fantastic. Okay, so we got 2 flat attacks there. Not the greatest, but it'll work. Now the chest, I'm just going to boost everything to +12 because I want you to see that is awful. We got res and defense. Not really good. No good stats out of that. Now this one, let's see where it goes. Please go speed. Just hit daily reset. So every single day I record this, we hit daily reset in the video. But from here, I'll just talk real quick while this is loading about what our next plans are. Once Kael is boosted, we should be able to clear much easier through the story. And just because your Kael on Lifesteal will keep himself alive. That's what Lifesteal gear is. I just assume that everybody knows that, but some of you aren't aware. Lifesteal gear heals dependent upon the amount of damage that you do. So when you're farming, whenever you're attacking, if you don't clear the wave on the first time they hit you back, then you'll stay alive throughout it. So that is the idea, and it's also good for every other part of the game because your characters just stay alive. It's a early game cheat code set. Okay, that's the best way to explain Lifesteal set. But from here, I'm going to show you different characters you can farm for in Brutal Campaign. The idea is our Kael will be to a point where he can do most soloing of any type of early stages. The later stage, we probably need to 6-star him. That didn't go how I wanted. Okay, +12. Let's try this again. And then from there, though, there's a couple characters we have to farm for, and then we are going to boost up one of them. I believe there's 4 total characters. One of the characters we want to get 2 different drops for. There are 3-star characters. It's because there is a fusion we have to do. We got HP, not the greatest, but 15 crit rate. We're definitely at crit rate. Yeah, we have plenty of crit rate now. So now we're going to take the sword, 2 plus 12. Okay, we got attack percent. That's actually not bad. And then the helmet, we're praying for any kind of decent stat here. Defense, we got 2 rolls in accuracy. That's not bad. It's going to allow us to get our poison. So we don't have much crit rate. That's just how it is. The thing with banners is we will eventually get a crit damage banner here, which will allow us to get a lot more stat out of our Kael. But let me go back to his gear. Okay, back to his gear. So now total we are at 4.27 million. Whenever you are upgrading your Kael's gear, I want you, before you do that, because you're probably going to run yourself out of gold, is go over to your Wukong, and we want to throw the gear we just took off Kael onto our Wukong. So I'm going to click filter, and you can go to the fitting room. This is a way that you can put all the pieces on in one spot, and it teaches you how to... I never upgraded my Kael's weapon. No wonder it was hitting like potato. Oh, no, it was just on a different set. Okay, so we want to put all of the pieces that were all the way maxed out on Kael onto our Wukong, or whichever other attack scaling damage dealer that you are currently using. And then we have this chest here. And then we need to go down because we had the other 2 sets. It wasn't that the piece wasn't upgraded. It was that we were using a different set. So we're going to try this on, and then we're going to try this on, and it's going to cost 75,000 to equip it. So I'm going to click equip, but this is a way that you can go and try on gear to try build. This is important for later, but I wanted to show this UI in the guide so you do know it exists. There's a lot of different UI in this that I'll slightly touch on, and then we'll full experiment with it later. So let's go ahead and equip this, and our Wukong is now much stronger than he was before. His gear is fully upgraded. Now, our current gold count, okay? This is where it starts getting hard. We have 4.2 million. I'm going to upgrade the sword first. All right, so with the sword upgrade first, let's see how much it takes. It costs 1.2 million, okay? So the most important upgrades at first here are going to be your sword, and then your bottom 3. Whichever order of the bottom 3 is fine if you aren't super high on crit rate. I think the overall attack and speed is going to be the more value, so I'm going to go ahead and do the chest. Let's see how much this one costs. 800,000. It got accuracy. It's not the worst. Now the boots, go ahead and upgrade that. That costs about 1 million. And we got res. That's awful. Not awful, but it is awful. It's the only stat that I don't think benefits us at all. And then the final one, let's see if we can get it. We did. Okay, that's really lucky. Okay, so we didn't spend all of our gold, but we spent very, very close to it. All right, so now that is our new Kael. I want to go show him off in campaign now. So if we go back to campaign, we do need to upgrade his helmet and his shield. That is one of the next goals that we are going to do. But in campaign now here, let's say the stage I was farming, with his gear not being upgraded, there's a chance he may still not beat this because he'll take a ton of damage from getting hit. I don't know if he can survive a full onslaught. He wasn't able to before, so let's go test and just see. The problem is, as you see, it's all red enemies, so this is one of the harder stages for him to farm. But there we go, and there we go. He's back to full health. And then there, takes out 3 of them. He's going to get hit twice. And we're missing a ton of overall bulk, so just keep that in mind. And so far, not bad. He'll have his skill 3 on his next turn. The problem is he does have the ability to fail this. We are provoked right here. We did 0 damage, so we didn't heal. And then now he has 3. We full heal. The speed boots are coming in clutch. Okay, he looks like he's able to solo it, just not consistently until we upgrade the next gear, because he's going to continue to take a lot of damage. He almost dies. The speed down is what's really hurting us there, but that is one of the harder stages for us, okay? That was mostly fire characters. So that is just, he could never have done that before. So that is a big upgrade already, and that is farming, okay? You can just bring your Kael by himself with 3 fodder, but the next things I want you to work on, now that we're to this point, we are farming fodder. That's one of the most important things. Every time you're doing any stage, make sure to bring as many fodder characters as you can. Okay, with that, the overall goals are, if we go into our portal, one of the missions is we need to fuse Relic Keeper. Okay, so that means we need to get these characters. We need to get Harris, we need to get a Spirit Host, and these all drop from campaign. If you click on them, you can see this drops in Chapter 4, Durham Forest. This one drops in Chapter 6, Palace of Aravia, and you just go and farm that. The first one I want you to focus on farming, you guys can farm ahead, but this will be the end of this video, is we can go into Palace of Aravia. This is one of the most important things to farm for. So, speed gear. Brutal campaign, speed gear. We have our Kael. I do want to try to upgrade him some more. So one of the things we need to go and get more of our, just put 3 fodder in. Okay, we need to go get more silver so that I can upgrade his helmet and shield before we super farm. The way you do that is by selling artifacts. And I'm going to go clear up a little bit of artifacts before we wrap up the video. But the idea here is you come in here and we're farming for speed main stat speed boots. If we can get some 4 stars, that's great. If you get any 5-star speed stat main boot along the way with farming, your ultimate goal is just farm any other boot you can sell, but farm for speed boots. This will boost up your silver. This will boost up your account because once you get those speed boots, it's huge. And we're also working on getting the drop for the Harris. Okay, so there's a 4-star boot at speed immediately. Okay, that we're keeping. That's already a speed main stat boot. With a turn-based game, speed is king, and speed set, it takes 2 pieces to get an additional 12% speed based off your base stat of speed on the character. So this is what you're aiming for. You would prefer to get some 5-star ones, but this is something you can farm into. Keep farming up your fodder. As you level up your fodder, go summon some more, promote them, and your overall goal is to just get as many fodder characters up to, for today, as you need to get them to level 40, 4-star. So like my War Priest will be my first one that I end up promoting. But then you're going to have to take, say, this character, for example. We will 4-star her and take her up to level 40. And then we need to get 4 different 4-stars that are level 1, right? Once we promote this next 3-star. I will show you all this tomorrow if it's too confusing for you. We'll go through the full process. But we'll take this 3-star to 4-star, and then once we have a boosted character like this that is level 44-star, we'll take 4 of those and feed it into it. Okay, this does take a while. Your first 6-star is a huge accomplishment, and that's why that first pack you can buy is super value. So, because you'll just finish a 6-star, and once you have your first 6-star, farming 6-stars becomes infinitely easier from that point. But if you're going to be free to play, like I am going to be on this account, that is what we'll have to do. So you'll just go in, just try to level up as much fodder as you can. You can't go wrong with that. If you run out of room while you're farming fodder and you're waiting for me to make sure you don't make a mistake for tomorrow's episode, you can go and put your leveled up fodder in your vault. Okay, just slap them in here once you got them fully leveled. Just throw them over, move them to Master Vault, and just stockpile all your leveled fodder in here. Okay, so now that that is all done, if you want to get a little bit of extra gold, you can come here, click, go to filter. And one of the bad things is I don't believe there is a way to not sell your already upgraded gear. So if we go in and we click rank and rarity 1 to 2-star, you see there's a bunch of these 1 to 2 stars here. You can click sell, select all, and if you want to go through and click any of the ones that are already leveled up, you can. So that way we save them because we could just go put them. But when they're +8, these aren't very good pieces. So it's not a big deal if you sell them, but I'll keep them for now, and I'll just sell any of the 1 to 2 stars. It's an extra 50k gold. And then if you have any kind of base understanding of gear in any kind of gear-based game, okay, so this is HP percent, that's fine. This is flat attack on a boot. We don't want that. So one of the things you can do from here is go in, click these 3 options, and then for primary stats, you can do flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. Okay, these are all not ideal substats for these. You don't want flats ever. You never want to upgrade flat stats. At the beginning, they're not as bad, but if you upgrade them, they will fall off later and be useless. And silver is too important in this game to waste it on different resources, or to waste it on bad gear. Okay, so now if you look at this, the flat attack, this is flat attack. I'm just going to select all, and here's an extra 200k I can get. So I'm going to sell the already upgraded pieces here because I shouldn't have upgraded them to begin with. That was just a challenge I had to do. So I'm going to go ahead and sell any of this stuff, even this piece. Now, one thing real quick, if you want to, before you sell it, go down, make sure if you have any 6-star gear, before we sell, go and click 4-star and 3-star. And 1 and 2-star. Okay, go and click that, and then click select all. Okay, so that way we don't accidentally sell any of that rare gear we get. If you already sold it, it's fine, because there are rework stones in the game. you can go in and use rework stones to change that 5 and 6 star gear to have a second chance for them to be good. So try to save your 5 and 6 star gear, but in terms of 4, 3, and 2 star, any of the flat stats you can just sell. So there's already a little bit of bonus gold or silver that you just got. So now you can take that and try to boost up your Kael a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and try to upgrade his HP a little bit. Let's see how much it costs. We did get it, but now we are completely broke. The extra 4% attack is pretty nice. That is it. Okay, so that is how you can get a little bit extra gold. Again, you can work on farming for those characters. So again, in here, Durham Forest has Spirit Host. If you do end up getting the Harris from chapter 6, you can stop farming this if you want, but I highly suggest trying to get multiple pair of those speed boots because we will be building all of our characters together. We will be getting 2 million gold on login, so that will help us a lot. But just go in and as you're farming for this gear and these characters, continue to get your characters leveled up, okay? Because that is our ultimate goal, is getting our Kael to 6 star next. And one of the characters that is really good is going to be War Maiden. This is probably the #1 character to farm for outside of getting the speed boots. So once you get the speed boots, come over here. You actually want to try to get 2 War Maiden drops, okay? Because War Maiden is a character we're going to use. This character is amazing. She has a AoE big decreased defense with 100% chance to land. So that's really big. That means it's gonna decrease defense of the entire enemy team. Very, very good. Probably the best free 3-star character in the game. One of the best free characters just in general, just because of where you get her. She gives herself an increased attack and places extra hit if she crits, which does decent damage. And she has a chance of placing poison. So she's usable in clan boss. She's usable in basically every single content in this game. And she is also force, which helps us widen our affinity roster. So War Maiden will be a great character to farm for. If you're curious which stage to farm, do stage 3. Okay, shields sell for the most. And if you're not farming for a specific type of gear with specific main stat or anything, and you're just general farming, you will farm shields. Okay, shields sell for just overall more silver on your account. The main stage that we're going to, once we 6-star Kael, go and farm is stage 12-3. You will live in stage 12-3 for a very long time, okay? Very, very long time. That is where you'll farm. You'll get 6 stars. That's where you'll farm your gold. That is the progression of your account, is stage 12-3, generally. But in terms of other things, just real quick, again, make sure you do your clan boss every day. Okay, go and do your clan boss hits no matter what. And then also go and make sure you clear out your faction wars. Okay, do those every day. The highest stage you can do of faction wars. If you have to level up an extra dwarf for whatever character, for whatever faction war, you can bring them in if you have a 3-star character that you want to try to get built up a little bit because they seem okay, or if you join Discord and people say they're decent, then you can work on those along the way while you're leveling other fodder. But try not to promote any other characters outside of getting Kael to 6-star. That is the #1 thing. We got to get Kael to 6-star, and once we do that, our account will start zooming. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments. I'll answer all of them as soon as I see them. Otherwise, we're going to end on 4 summons, and for next video, just get as far as you can. I'll share my progress with you. The goal is just to get those characters. It could take a long time, so Wagon Bane, not super excited. Another 3-star. It is a flinger. Give me a legendary, because it's double legendary. I highly suggest you guys potentially save your summons. I've said this every time I summon. Potentially save your summons unless you just really want to. It's fine. You got to play the game and enjoy it. But summoning on certain events are way better than others, and you'll learn what good events are as you continue to play, and you'll be happy you saved your summons, or unhappy because you didn't get anything. Okay, so no legendary, but we did get a Hyria. So not a bad character. Not the greatest, not the worst. Potential user, but probably not. She's a high elf. So maybe faction wars, not the best. I don't know. All right, we tried to summon, but I'm going to save my Sacred Shard for when we get our second Sacred Shard. Actually, yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait until we 6-star Kael. That'll be our reward as we can do our 2 summons once we get our Kael to 6-star. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have not downloaded Raid through my link and you're getting to this point and maybe you're getting stuck, it's not a bad idea to make a second account or a new account and go through on that. Maybe you get better luck and your progress is way better. And your summons, you could end up hitting 4 legendaries on a brand new account. So at this point, maybe going back, knowing what you're doing a little bit better, it's never a bad idea to make a new account. It's really fun too. So QR code at the top, download the link in the description. You're going to get the 4 characters. You're going to be getting Tagoar right away, Ugo level 25, Ultimate Gallic level 45, Lady Quillen at level 50. We're also, at the current time of recording this, there is the Alice Chase event going on. You will be able to get Alice after logging for 7 days. There will probably be a different character if you are playing at a later time, but another legendary character here. And then you can enter the promo code Monkey King. Once you enter promo code Monkey King, you'll be able to get Sun Wukong. Now, lastly, if you guys haven't entered a promo code yet today, I have a list of promo codes in my Discord day by day through 12 days, 12 different promo codes you can enter to always be getting more and more stamina every day. First code, always try to enter Welcome Gift. If Welcome Gift doesn't work on the first time you enter it, go to the next code. Eventually, it will probably work. Some people have got it to work at count rank 40. Some have got it to work at count rank 10. So it's very random whether that code will work. Just keep trying it, and eventually, hopefully it does. It's a good code. It's not life make or break, but I just want to remind you guys, try Welcome Gift. If it doesn't work, move to the next day. Try it again, go to the next day. So that is the goal with that. So that's all I have. Sorry for yapping so long. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode of the guide. Go farm up some of those characters.